Canada uses a system called the CRS, which basically assesses if you're eligible for PR or not. The system takes into consideration your age, work experience, job, salary, education, and then assigns you a score. There is a clear advantage if you're younger. The problem with the student and LMIA scams is that they're pushing the score higher because of how young the new immigrants are and the quick pathways they're trying to take to get to PR. And so immigrants that graduated from legitimate universities like Simon Fraser University, UBC, or other lesser known universities become ineligible for PR. A large majority of this is skilled labor that Canada desperately needs. Now, if the government does not address this soon, we are going to see an exodus of skilled labor, which, as we have already learned, is not really a good thing for us. So far, we've learned that internal factors like an aging population, negative birth rates, bad immigration policies, and external factors like scams and fraud are responsible for high immigration targets and unbalanced immigration. Now, what this has done is create job shortages, worker shortages, rising rents, higher cost of living, and over-immigration. We also know that the government has introduced some regulations, such as decreasing the yearly targets to 375,000 for the next 2 years, increasing the requirements needed to immigrate, reducing the number of private colleges and institutions that are eligible for PGWP. But the national consensus so far is that more regulations are needed. Now, I'm not in a position to offer actual solutions, but all I can say right now is that the government needs to consider regional caps on immigration because this will force diversity and stem the number of scams. I'm sure it's easier said than done, but that's just my two loonies on the situation. Inflation. You now have a decent understanding of what's going on with Canadian immigration, and to be completely transparent with you, there really are not any other factors that are driving these numbers and creating the chaos. I highly recommend checking out the references or at least watching the documentary that's linked in the description. It does an amazing job of showing how common some of these scams are and in fact how easy these scams are. One of the reasons I recommend watching this documentary is because of how much negative sentiment there is on social media regarding Indian immigrants and immigration from India in general. And I am concerned that it's only a matter of time before this social media rhetoric starts to bleed into the real world, and we know how that usually ends up.